Here at King's Langley, the Ovaltine farms and factory work side by side to produce and process the health-giving ingredients contained in Ovaltine. Thousands of people visit them every year. Today, A. Wonder Limited, the makers of Ovaltine, invite you to join a typical party of visitors. Our tour begins at the dairy farm, where the prize-winning Ovaltine herd, in the peak of health and condition, is going to be milked. Youngsters like this one, with her aristocratic pedigree, assure the future of the herd and carry on the quality tradition of her illustrious parents. Scrupulous cleanliness is the rule in the milking parlour, as in all parts of the Ovaltine farms. In the past 10 years, this famous herd has won nearly 700 top awards, including 47 championships and reserve championships, 67 special prizes and cups, and over 150 first prizes at the main agricultural shows all over the country. No wonder they give such good creamy milk, milk that goes into delicious Ovaltine. On the Ovaltine egg farm, among the most up-to-date in the world, they believe too in breeding first-class stock and looking after it well. Chicks like these are raised to swell the flocks of pedigree birds, especially bred for their capacity to lay top-quality eggs. The farm's own laboratory works closely with the main laboratories at the factory. Together they are doing nutritional research on raw materials and bringing all their scientific resources to bear on the problems of the egg and poultry industries. Scientific breeding and feeding are important, but only healthy and contented birds make good layers, and the Ovaltine flocks live in ideal conditions. Their eggs, rich in food value, come warm from the nest and are loaded for their short journey to the factory. At the same time, milk straight from the cooler is on its way to the same destination. These quality products from pedigree stock on the model farms are delivered daily. They set the standard to ensure that everything that goes into Ovaltine is always of top quality, like the golden grains of barley from which the malt in Ovaltine is made. Perhaps you've wondered who cracks all the thousands of eggs that go into Ovaltine. Well, here's the machine that does the job, closely watched by girls whose task is to see that not a single egg passes through that isn't perfect. Meanwhile, the barley is being malted. All the goodness of the grain is concentrated in these giant evaporators. This malt, plus milk and eggs, are blended together with extra vitamins to make this rich, foaming mixture of liquid Ovaltine. All this concentrated goodness is retained in the drying process. These portholes show what's happening to the Ovaltine as it passes through huge vacuum ovens. It emerges as crisp, malty chunks to be broken down into the attractive granules you find in your Ovaltine tin. But it's not only the Ovaltine itself that's made in this factory. There are many factories in one at King's Langley. Here, in another part of the same building, the familiar Ovaltine tins are made. For the makers of Ovaltine like to control not only the product itself, but also the containers in which it is packed. Here you see tin sheets being sliced at the start of their production run. These have been especially printed for export. Ovaltine is carefully measured into the tins. These are for the home market. From first to last, the Ovaltine is untouched by hand. It is at this stage the tins pick up their labels as they roll along. Labels which are printed in another department of the same factory. They're in all kinds of languages besides English, because Ovaltine is exported all over the world. In some countries, as you've already seen, you'll find it in specially printed tins, as humidity might damage paper labels. There are 24 Ovaltine factories and laboratories in carefully chosen areas all over the world. In fact, more Ovaltine is drunk than any other food beverage. More than half the English factory's production goes for export, and 2 million cups are drunk in the United Kingdom every day. Our takes us next to the bakery, where Ovaltine teething rusks are made. The dough for the miniature loaves from which the rusks will be sliced is being kneaded by machinery. The dough is carefully prepared and shaped into loaves and baked. The loaves, when cooled, are sliced on an automatic slicer. Then toasted to a crisp, golden brown. That crispness, it helps babies to cut their teeth, is retained by the airtight packets in which the rusks are sealed. The bakery is also producing a new soft rusk, Ovaltine baby rusks for weaning and mixed feeding, the ideal first solid food for babies. Before our visitors leave the Ovaltine factory, they take a quick look at the laboratories. In this one, specialized staff are working as usual on a constant program of quality control. Samples of all the products are taken at frequent intervals and analyzed. This is to make sure that the high standards of purity, vitamin content and food value are maintained. Why do we eat? Generally we eat because we're hungry, but in reality we are refueling the machine that is our body. Food should contain all the essential nutrients for reproduction, growth, health and vitality. These essential nutrients are proteins, fats, carbohydrates, minerals and vitamins. All body tissues, including muscles and skin, are made chiefly from proteins, and the body grows in size by building proteins into itself. All the time the body is changing. New skin, new muscles are needed every day to replace the wear and tear of the body. so a regular intake of proteins is needed. In childhood, when growth is very rapid, the protein need is naturally higher in proportion than later in life. Fats are the most efficient source of heat and energy. They enable the body to build up a reserve of stored energy. The carbohydrates are the foods most extensively used as fuel to produce energy, the starches and sugars. Extra energy is required for every daily activity, whether it be work, or sport, or play. It is essential also that the body should be provided with a good supply of minerals in the form of calcium for the structure of strong bones and healthy teeth, and iron for the formation of red pigment in the blood. Not least are the vitamins, which are complex substances essential to promote growth, health, and active, vigorous life. How then does Ovaltine fit into this conception? Ovaltine supplies in easily digested form the vital nutrients the body needs: proteins, fats, carbohydrates, minerals, as well as carefully balanced amounts of vitamin B1, niacin, and vitamin D. As well as foods, A. Wonder Limited make an important range of pharmaceutical products, including drugs to combat tuberculosis. In the past 15 years, there's been a truly spectacular fall in mortality from this disease, and a great deal of credit for this must go to these drugs. Specially designed machines are used for counting and packing the tablets and cachets, so that none is touched by hand. These girls are inspecting and making sure that no incorrect amounts slip through. This machine is filling cachets with Pasina, one of the many life-saving and health-giving drugs that are made here at King's Langley. In the research laboratory, work is being done all the time both on drugs for curing disease and on foods for maintaining health. On the drug side, new chemical substances are developed and tested as part of the search for better and more powerful medicines. And this is by no means an isolated effort. These laboratories keep in close touch with other wonder laboratories abroad, comparing results and sharing discoveries. The company spends over £1 million a year on research. You have had a glimpse of a great concern, dedicated to people's well-being, both through fighting sickness and through maintaining our most priceless possession, good health. The makers of Ovaltine have been proud to show you their factory and farms. They are proud of their product too, a pride which has been justified by Ovaltine being the only food beverage officially recognized at every Olympic Games since 1932, and at every Commonwealth Games since their inception. Only Ovaltine gives you malt, milk, eggs plus added vitamins. And for all these reasons, you should give yourself and your family the goodness and nourishment from nature's finest foods, combined in a single product, as a source of health, energy, and sleep.